Thanks for choosing to listen to this Late Night Linux Family podcast. We're only able to do this because of the people who support us. None of our shows are paywalled, but our Patreon supporters can get most episodes early and never hear any ads. Learn more at latenightlinux.com/support or support us by telling a friend or colleague about everything we do. Hello and welcome to episode 387 of Late Night Linux, recorded on the 18th of May 2026. I'm Joe, and with me are Phelim,
Matt's co-processor,
and Andy.
Good evening.
Yeah, Will and Graham are still away, so Andy, thank you very much for sticking around.
No worries, nice to be here.
The Debian release team have decreed that for the upcoming Debian 14, all packages need to be reproducible.
Yay!
This is good. Andy, you know about software. Tell us what reproducible means.
So I know about this because I went through the pain of making one of my packages reproducible so that it could go onto F-Droid and be reproducible on F-Droid, because they're really good about this. It's not mandatory on F-Droid, but it's very strongly encouraged. So basically, reproducible, it just means if you build the same piece of software as me from the same source code, then you should get the exact same binary out at the other side.
So I should get the same SHA-256 sum, for example.
Exactly. And the reason why that's important is because then if someone's hosting binaries somewhere, anyone can check whether those binaries are actually corresponding to the correct source code or they've got some backdoor inserted or something.
Right, so this is an excellent thing, but it's fucking hard to do.
It's a real struggle, but I think it's largely a struggle because the tooling is not particularly set up for it and stuff. So once everyone is on board and this is a normal thing to do, it won't be hard at all.
But CI/CD systems give it a timestamp, for example, the binary, which means that every time you do it, it's going to be different.
Yeah, so you have to just stop all of that stuff, basically. Anything that puts in timestamps or uses some kind of randomness in any way needs to be fixed. But once that's the norm, I think that will be not too difficult.
And so do you think this goal is realistic, then, that everything in Debian 14 will be reproducible?
I must say, I was surprised when I read that. I think that's a pretty challenging goal. But when I read a little bit more, it seems that they've already been working on this, right? So it's not coming out of the blue. They've had quite a bit of stuff reproducible already, and they've decided that now's the time that they can achieve like everything being reproducible. I think that's really ambitious, which is cool, and probably a bit surprising for Debian, who tend to be quite slow about things. But yeah, I think that's cool to be ambitious.
Is this a bit like SSL for websites? Like for a long time, it was just something that important stuff had, banking and stuff. And then Let's Encrypt comes along and it's like, no, we're not having this anymore. Everything's going to be SSL, HTTPS. That's going to be the standard. Can we get to that point, do we think, with reproducibility?
I don't see why not. I mean, I think the need has to be there for it. And I think the fact that there is a very questionable supply chain sometimes, where did that get built on the right server with the right version that we've all checked, or did that somehow get built somewhere else by mistake, not even with malice involved? And then add to that people maliciously trying to inject stuff into the whole repo. I think it's a great idea that they do this, because if you can say, build it on your system, build it on mine, and we'll prove to each other that we both have the same thing. I mean, that's gold.
Just compatibility, like maybe you pulled in the wrong libraries or something.
Yeah, it's just kind of obviously right when you think about it. And I think we're just starting to become a bit more grown up about our supply chain, right? Like, so all of the attention for this has been on things like NPM and stuff like that. And it is a bit more chaotic. Debian and systems like it, they have a really strong personal reputation system that protects us from a lot of the dangers. But it doesn't protect us from the dangers of someone just coming in and swapping a binary on a server. So this gives us like a further bit of defense in depth, and it makes a really trustworthy system like Debian even more trustworthy. And maybe that will just be table stakes in the future.
Well, Debian being forward thinking for once.
Yeah, good on Debian. Debian's big selling point is trust, and this adds to trust. It can't be bad.
Yep. Well done, Debian. This is a fun one. EU calls VPNs a loophole that needs closing in age verification push. So, I mean, this is not just the EU talking about this. We've seen the UK government and other governments around the world saying, hang on, kids are getting around age verification by using VPNs. Well, we need to have age verification for VPNs then. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Well, I think that it is actually relatively doable for, your NordVPN and stuff like that. But anyone sufficiently technical will find a way around it.
100%.
If kids want to see filth, they're going to see filth. It's really not hard.
Yeah. I think there will be a significant number of people who won't work around this thing, right? I think it will improve the numbers of people who are not, if you think that's a good thing. But it pushes everyone else onto just worse VPNs, right? Who are just really unscrupulous, which is scary.
Well, yeah, it especially pushes kids onto free VPNs, which do all sorts of nefarious shit.
And if anybody thinks I'm going to rock up to some office with my passport and it's not the government only and get some sort of unidentifiable key that verifies I'm the right person but doesn't identify me, they can just F right off. We all know the amount of trackers that pick us up as we go along across the internet. And if they think I'm going to then provide my passport and the fingerprint with it and all the other biometric nonsense that's in a passport, it's just absolutely absurd, the idiocy of this.
You are fucking dreaming if you think you're going to be going to an office. No, you're going to be holding it up to your webcam or your phone's camera.
No. What I meant was, if it isn't that, I would accept a unidentifiable token that says, right, this person checks out, but we're not identifying them to anybody on the outside. And, cryptographically, it's signed over here. I don't know. It's all crypto nonsense. I have no idea how you do it. I'm sure there's some very smart people who can do this, but not me. But essentially, someone should have the list of people who are allowed, and someone have a list that says all these ID numbers are allowed. And then if you're not on that ID list, yeah, whatever. But there's no way. The amount of companies, they're just all so incompetent.
I agree. I do not want to entrust my identity information to really anyone. Like almost every website on the internet has proved that they can't be trusted with my information. And I do my best to avoid having my credit card information on these sites, let alone my really significant identity information, because they're bound to lose it.
Oh, well, there go my fingerprints. I best get the Dremel out and resurface my hands then. Fuck's sake.
So I'm going to do my best to just avoid ever verifying my age for anything. And I'll just see how much of the internet is left, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose that's your best option, really. I mean, I paid for 5 years of a VPN on the day that it happened in the UK. I tried to go to Reddit, and it was just wanting me to verify my ID. I was like, what the fuck? I'm not doing this. And so, right, I heard about this great deal on a VPN. It was 15 quid for 5 years or something. I was like, well, I suppose I'll just pay the 15 quid then. And I've been using it fine. But what's going to happen if laws come in that say, right, you've got to prove your ID and everything to use this VPN? Well, I suppose that's my 15 quid gone then, because I'm fucking not doing it. I've not verified my age anywhere yet. And I'm going to fight tooth and nail to not do that ever, if possible. I don't know how possible it's going to be. I feel like eventually I'm just going to have to give into it, but it's going to be a sad day when I do.
And all the kids will be using their video games to verify or something like that. They'll find out the good ways around it.
Well, I've heard 2 separate stories. One of the ways you can prove your age is just age estimation. So you just turn your camera on and kids literally screw their faces up to look more wrinkled and it passes. And also they are just drawing on mustaches with a Sharpie, and that works as well.
What? AI is fooled so easy. Oh, I said the word. Whoops, sorry.
I mean, I'm just so overjoyed by that. I'm now in favour of age verification.
It makes me think the kids are all right, It's like when you see these videos of CEOs at the college graduation ceremonies and they're talking about the thing we can't talk about, and then all the kids are just going, boo. I say kids, young adults, boo, boo. That makes me feel they're all right,
Fills me with joy.
EU browser choice rules send millions more users Firefox's way, but seemingly only on iOS because Google are a shower of bastards. So I think we all remember the old Windows browser choice thing where it would pop up and give you a choice of browsers randomly, and that was pretty good back then. Well, the EU have forced Google and Apple to do this on their phones, and Apple have done it in good faith, and as a result, loads of people have started using Firefox. because Apple made it so that it was the first time you opened Safari, you would get this choice, whereas Google did the most malicious compliance that you can possibly do and just had it once on the first boot, among the million other screens where people are just trying to fucking next it to actually start using it.
But hang on there. Apple have never done anything in good faith.
Okay, well, less maliciously complied then.
Yeah, it was an accident is all I'm saying.
And also, hang on. So Firefox managed to get users, but not by any of its own skill or features, but by government telling somebody to use something else. Wow.
No,
well done, Mozilla.
No.
You're brilliant. You're brilliant.
No.
You couldn't take a positive story about Mozilla and be positive about it, could you? You had to find a way to shit on them.
It's failing by default.
That's not what happened. That's not what happened. No one forced anyone to choose Firefox.
It's okay, failing by undefault then. Whatever.
No one forced anyone to use Firefox. They were given the choice. People were given the choice, and some people chose Firefox.
And they marginally more recognised, what's that Firecat thing? Yeah, I'll go with that one. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, because they have a good reputation.
Exactly.
That's how clueless the users were. They thought that Firefox had a good reputation.
This is a good news story. This is happy.
Is it though? I mean...
Yes, and we will not let you shit on it.
Someone has done some good regulation that makes the market slightly less completely twisted. And more people are using Firefox, which means there's some chance that Firefox will keep working for me.
Hey, I use it too, but I don't think that's happening. But anyway.
It is. It's the wonderful EU that me and Andy mourn the loss of.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yes, you're right.
Although there's rumblings of rejoining now. The politicians are starting to have the guts to say it.
We're going to give back control.
What, you got 3 direct null points at the Eurovision in a row, and now you think you need to rejoin the EU to change the rules, is it? Yeah? Well, okay, fair enough.
Look, Mum, 1 point. We got 1 point.
Poor Sam. I hope it doesn't change him.
1 sympathy point from Ukraine because, we've kind of helped them out a bit. But otherwise, no fucking points from anyone.
So has anyone else noticed that even though Firefox sometimes doesn't work on some websites, it remarkably still works perfectly on most websites?
Well, I was going to say that until as of last week, it's been really crap at Google Maps.
Oh, really?
And the only reason I was looking at Google Maps was I needed a satellite image. But I think that might be because I added some more services to Pi-hole, and I think I tipped the let's give you shite service in a row from Google a bit too much.
Right, so you broke it and now it's broken.
Well, maybe.
So this is on desktop, not mobile.
Yes.
I have just tried now and it's fucking atrocious. It's like stuttering and it's terrible.
Is it? Ah, interesting. And I found YouTube to be also equally shit.
Oh, so Google are starting to move against Firefox, are they?
No, look, we've been over this 1,000 times. It's not them moving against, it's not some conspiracy. It's them not giving a flying fuck and not testing on Firefox.
That's the same thing.
It's them just not caring, which is not the same.
It is the same. It's them semi-deliberately not caring.
Well, it's them not caring if shit breaks, well, oh well.
Yeah.
But it's not them deliberately breaking shit.
No, I'm not saying that they had a meeting where they were like, okay, it's time for us to break Firefox.
Yeah.
But they all went in and went, let's not break Firefox, and did a lot of winking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can well imagine a meeting where they said, we won't dedicate so much resources to testing on Firefox.
Well, absolutely. Or any fucking resources. Why would they? It's not in their interests. Why would they care?
We shouldn't have let them have a browser.
I'm ringing Ursula von der Leyen immediately.
Anyway, I've watched multiple different TV services over the last few years, and they've all worked in Firefox, which I always fall off my chair when that happens.
What, when the DRM actually works?
Yeah. I watch it through my Steam Deck. I have my Steam Deck plugged into my TV, and I can watch, Netflix and Apple TV. And although actually Now TV doesn't work on Linux, you have to boot into Windows. But if you boot into Windows, it works on Firefox.
Well, I'm still pretty happy with Firefox, and I've not noticed that maps thing until right now.
Oh, you're welcome.
And I'm hoping that all of that, like stuttering and stuff, didn't fuck up my audio. But I suppose I'll find out when I edit it.
Sellotaping a whole lot of different words from different episodes together.
I actually did that recently. I took something I said on one completely different show and put it into an episode of another show and nobody noticed because I fucked something up, but I'd said it correctly on another show and I stitched it in seamlessly. So, haha.
Oh, I'm going to go back and listen now. Everything.
You will not find it. I guarantee you could listen for days and not find it.
You'd only deny it anyway.
It's because you're a consistent performer, Joe.
Yeah, there you go. All right, well, speaking of browsers, I don't know why you put this in. I do not care, but Opera GX lands on Linux. So a proprietary gaming bullshit browser is now available for Linux. Great.
Okay, so clearly I have the two wrongest people to be on the show with this particular piece of news. Will would have completely backed me up and Graham may have nodded sagely and gone, I think I've heard of that, yeah. But this is the gamer browser.
This is proprietary software that you love.
No, I do not. I do not. But I will say my son was not impressed when he couldn't have this on Linux and then went back to Windows because of, well, this and many other things. But mainly it was the fact that it didn't have all the gamer stuff his pals had. Now, the people in Opera GX land believe that the question on everybody's lips is apparently, but where is Opera GX on Linux? And which I think they are chuffing on the crack pipe just a bit too much. But I guess this is a good thing that, you know, if gamers are coming, if Opera GX team is looking at this going, oh my God, there's loads of gamers coming, we need to be in on that too because now it's a real thing, then I think it all points in the right direction of goodness for Linux usage. So I'm just saying I don't like it, but it's a good thing that they like it.
No, I was just being silly. It is a good thing. It's definitely a good thing. More popular proprietary software available for Linux as an option for people, I think is always good. I would love it if all of the games in the world, all of the Adobe stuff, I don't think I'd be using much of it, if any of it, but if everything was available, then more people could use Linux, and that is definitely a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we celebrate all the Steam stuff working on Linux. A lot of that's proprietary, most of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'd like the Adobe suite to be there. We'd like Microsoft Office to be there. We'd like Opera GX to be there. But, you know, we just can't get that excited. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, personally, we're not going to get excited about it, but it is good. So, and you're right, Phelan, that it is a vote of confidence in gaming on Linux.
Yeah, I think so. It's a good sign.
And that's a tribute to what Steam and Valve have done.
Yeah, definitely. Well, speaking of Steam and gaming, Valve have released the Steam controller and puck CAD files under a Creative Commons license. This is under a non-commercial Creative Commons license, though, so it's basically their way of encouraging people to 3D print and make their own accessories for personal use rather than for, you know, mass sale. If you want to do that, you're going to have to actually license them and, you know, pay Valve. But nevertheless, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, I think realistically that's fair, isn't it? I mean, you know, if you do want to do it, I'm sure they're not crazy money either for that commercial stuff. So, not that I know.
Yeah, it's very cool that it's like it makes modding and accessories and stuff easy, and that's very Steam, right? You know, like all the kind of Steam Workshop stuff of like modding games and things like that. It makes sense. I was really disappointed to see it was a non-commercial license though, because it means that they haven't really bought into. I mean, we know they haven't bought into the thing where if you're open but you're still the best, then you still make money. You know, they're still locking away all of their intellectual property in all their games and stuff. And they're doing it in their controller as well. So it's not a surprise. I wish they were more open. They've obviously bought into a lot of the stuff that's cool about getting to use other people's stuff that's open. I'd love it if they caught the bug a little bit more and started being a bit more confident in themselves and truly open with their stuff.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but it's still like people will be able to share their mods with each other, just not sell them, you know.
Yeah, which is totally cool.
I think in general, though, that Steam have been good sort of citizens where they get to share even amongst other companies. Now, I'm not obviously trying to sort of big them up to be bigger than they are, but I do think that if companies were still profitable and still sort of operated the way that they do, there'd be a lot less, you know, not everybody has to be the top and not everybody has to crush other people. You know, you can partner with other companies and ship work out to various open source developers around the place. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like they've contributed upstream to a number of open source projects, fully open source, right? So I don't want to undersell the cool stuff that they've done. I just think they're a company who are on the edge of really getting it. Wouldn't it be amazing if they did?
I think the problem is that they're also kind of trying to compete with the likes of Xbox and Sony and Nintendo, which are sort of the oil versus water level of not open. So I don't know. It would be our place to be, I think.
Yeah, but they're profiting a lot from their openness already, right? Like, so
yeah.
The reason why they are doing so well in the gaming world is because their stuff runs on this open PC platform, right? So they get that openness can be the way to win.
But just not too open.
Yeah, which, to be fair, like, no one has proved that you can be really open and then make tons of cash in the game world, right? And only really Red Hat have proved that you can do it in the operating system world.
Yeah, and look what happened there.
Hey, look, if this makes it that I don't have to spend €140 on another replacement cable for a VR headset, I'm totally fine with that. I don't need them to make money. I don't need me to make money. I just need me to not lose that money.
All right, well, speaking of VR headsets, we're inching closer to the Steam Frame release with a SteamOS Manager update. I think Liam over at Gaming on Linux is dreaming here if he thinks that it's coming soon, TM. I think we're going to be waiting just a little while longer.
I don't know. Graham often said that it was going to be called the Deckard before we knew about this. And it's like he knew. Because it says the DMI board name is Deckard and the variant is Deckard. I'm like, where did he get that from? It's not like Steam has got anything to do with Blade Runner, but all of a sudden that name is there. I mean, is that why he's not here? Is he gone to get one of these units? Bastard.
I think he just read it on a rumours website like 5 years ago or something, and they've been working on it all this time.
I don't know. He was always pretty adamant about it. He must know something.
Yeah, he's got the inside
I have to start
knowledge.
listening to his predictions more.
Yeah, he does seemingly do very accurate predictions, doesn't he? Maybe he's a time traveller.
It could be, and he's using that time travel to come back and then do predictions on a podcast.
I'd say that's not wasted at all.
Definitely not.
Liam is my son's name, and he has been saving like a madman. And, well, depending on how much it costs, he's pretty close.
What, has he got the €1,200 that it's going to cost?
It's not going to be 1,200. Jesus Christ, please don't let it be 1,200, or I'm going to have to shell in so much for that.
I was surprised by the price of the Steam controller. I thought it was going to be way over £100, so you never know. This might be okay.
You are the exact opposite of both Graham and Will from last week, who said, oh, I can't believe it was that expensive.
No, I think all of the Steam stuff seems to me like it's just going to come out and be way out of my price range.
Well, they can somewhat subsidise it, can't they? Because of selling games and making money off that, which is basically money for old rope, isn't it, really, once you've got the effective monopoly.
Yeah, if they consider this worth their money to subsidise so that they take over the platform and get more control, then yeah.
Well, they did say that they're not going to subsidise it, but like you're effectively subsidising it if you sell it at cost or close to cost. So I don't think they're going to be looking to make masses of profit on the hardware. So maybe it won't be. Maybe it'll be more like 800, but I don't know. My dreams of it being like, a few hundred are just ridiculous, frankly.
Oh, but look at the tech that would be in it, though.
Fingers crossed for the Steam machine. I'm much more excited about the Steam machine.
Oh, that's just a PC. What's to be excited about?
Well, currently my Steam Deck sits under my TV, and that's not ideal for sitting under the TV, and the Steam machine would be.
But you could just build a PC.
It'd be noisy. Like, they're going to have just sorted all that stuff for me. It's going to work really well.
You just don't like tinkering with hardware.
If I touch hardware, it blows up.
We've been over this on Linux Dev Time. You just love to tinker with software, don't you? You love to write software.
Yes.
Well, I like to tinker with hardware. What can I say?
Well, thank you. Yes, I would very much like you to build me a PC.
Well, you tell me your budget, Andy, and I'll put it together for you.
A budget.
Yeah. No free PCs then. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. That's you told.
You give me the money and I'll build you something that's great and runs Linux and Steam and is excellent and is not too noisy, but will ultimately probably be more than a Steam machine because they've got, buying power, economies of scale, etc.
Exactly. I am so happy with my Steam Deck, even though it's effectively doing the job of a Steam machine. So I think the Steam machine is going to be even better.
Right, well, we better get out of here then. Thank you very much for sticking around, Andy. It's been great having you the last couple of episodes.
It's been really fun. Thanks for having me again.
We'll be back next week when hopefully Will and Graham will return. Until then, I've been Joe.
I've been Phelim.
And I've been Andy.
See you later.